I'm joined by our Russia correspondent, Anya Ardeyeva. Anya, good day to you. I understand U.S. Vice President Joe Biden landed in Ukraine earlier. Why is he there?
The OSCE senior European mediator is in eastern Ukraine today, and he's holding his first talks on Monday with the leader of pro-Russian separatists. And Mark Essenson told reporters that he met the self-declared mayor of the city, Vyacheslav Ponomaryov, for 2 hours. He said he has asked this self-proclaimed mayor whether his group is planning to comply with last week's accord that she reached in Geneva, and whether the militants will disarm. He did not say how the leader responded, or he did not give any further details of that, but the efforts to de-escalate the situation are certainly underway.
Now, when it comes to how Russia and Ukraine itself, as we move away from what the United States might do, what is the conversation between the two countries? Do you think there could be a resolution to their problems in the near future?
Well, there's certainly a lot of tough rhetoric coming from both sides these days. Russian Foreign Ministry issued a statement following the incident in eastern Ukraine on Sunday when 3 people were killed. So the Russian Foreign Ministry said that Russia was indignant about what is called the provocation by gunmen. It said it testifies to the lack of will on the part of the Kyiv authorities to disarm nationalists and extremists. And it said that it was a source of surprise that the incident had happened after Russia, the European Union, the United States and Ukraine had signed the accord in Geneva last week calling on ending violence in Ukraine. And today in Moscow, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Kyiv authorities are taking steps to crudely violate, in his words, the Geneva Accord. He said that the Kyiv authorities are violating the accord and the extremists are calling the tune in Ukraine, and that it was absolutely unacceptable that the Ukrainian authorities failed to stop protests in Kiev and what was happening in eastern Ukraine. He said that the most important demand of the Geneva deal was to prevent violence, and that this was not being implemented. Now, pro-Russian authorities in eastern Ukraine said they found maps and a business card proving that Ukrainian far-right nationalists were involved in this attack on Sunday in Slavyansk, which killed 3 people. But Ukraine's nationalist group Right Sector denied the claim and said that evidence was a stage display to conceal Russian participation in that gunfight. And the official Kyiv also accused Russia of being involved. So certainly there's a lot of tough statements and sentiment coming from both sides.
Anya, lots of tough statements. One final question to you. The Russians are blaming Ukraine. Ukraine are blaming the Russians for the situation. Who is going to oversee the potential and hopeful peace in the region? Who's responsible for that, according to how you're seeing the situation play out?
We don't really know who is responsible at this moment of time, and certainly this situation has been affected and is affecting not only the relationship between Russia and Ukraine, but also between Russia and the West and Ukraine and the West. On Saturday, Russian President Vladimir Putin gave an interview to Russian national television in which he said that he did not see any reason why Moscow's relationship with the West can't normalize. He said it doesn't depend on us alone, but on our partners as well, and added that he believes there's nothing that's hindering normalization and normal cooperation. But at the same time, he reiterated calls to European buyers of Russian gas to help Ukraine with its gas debt. And he insisted that the May deadline, which was set by the Russian gas monopoly, Gazprom, when Russia would stop supplying gas to Ukraine, he said that deadline had nothing to do with presidential election there, which is due the same month. So certainly there is a way that Russia can put pressure on Kiev, and that's what it's doing, as many observers would call it. But at the same time, Moscow argues that Kiev hasn't paid its debt so far, even though it had the lowest price with all discounts applied. So Ukraine's financial situation is probably the root of this continuing problem.
You deserve to know more.
eNCA.com